Hey guys, Bruno here with a recap from the awesome first weekend of Mazda MX5 Cup Series at Daytona International Speedway. To start off the week, we arrived a day early in Orlando to check out the recently opened Rodizio Grill in Orlando. This is a new Rodizio location that has opened up in the last couple of years, and I was really excited to try out a new restaurant. Super excited as there's about 5 weekends that we go to that there are Rodizio locations nearby, so we'll be well fed before the weekend starts then. So here you can see we are arriving at the track for the first time. This was my first trip to Daytona International Speedway. Obviously, having raced it on the sim and watched races in real life, through the TV, it was cool to finally be able to experience the track in person. You can see here my car being taken off of the truck for the first time. My first time seeing our brand new 2022 livery with the Hixon Motorsports crew, and getting acquainted with my new teammates and also team manager Shea Hilberg as we go get the weekend started off on Wednesday. Alan, my awesome car mechanic, car chief, making sure the car was nice and ready for first practice. And Andrew Carbonell here, my data coach, helping me out and getting me up to speed before the first session on Wednesday. You can see outside it is misting, it is raining, and the whole weekend was a bit of a blur just trying to understand what the weather was going to do. The first session was on full wet tires, pretty damp track, nothing too crazy, but it was good to at least get used to the Mazda MX5 ND2. This was my second weekend ever driving the car, first time driving in the rain for the last 2 years because Utah doesn't like to rain much, so getting wet track experience is a little bit tricky. You can see here we're at this awesome event across the street from Daytona International Speedway. This is Daytona 1 if I'm not mistaken. This really cool event put together. All the big IMSA drivers were there. The up-and-coming IMSA drivers as well, including us in the MX5s, were all there. So we had a cool little autograph session going on afterwards with lots of fans for the weekend. Getting to know some new faces in the IMSA paddock, so really cool to meet some race fans and people, watching and enjoying the sport. So. So we head on into the second day. This is going into the second practice session, I believe, where we were on slick tires because the track was dry and then it started raining as we went out. It was a whole mess, but we went like that for FP2. Qualifying was a little bit tricky. The track was drying out, but we were on rain tires. It was a little bit weird to get used to the different weather conditions, but that's part of racing. Qualifying wasn't great, to say the least. We definitely struggled a little bit. Obviously, Daytona is a big draft track, and we just got a little bit caught off with the drafts, getting a little bit unlucky in qualifying. So not the best qualifying performance, starting about mid-pack for both races, but we were able to try to make the best of it. So you can see here the start of the first race. This was really cool to be on IMSA TV. This was a race that was starting at 5:30 p.m., so we knew that it was going to go into sunset, but we weren't expecting it to get as dark as it did. Also, the weather didn't help. It made the track a lot darker because of cloud coverage. So a little bit of an analysis of the track here. This is all done by IMSA TV. It's really cool to be having such a good broadcast for these awesome and exciting races. So it just adds to the aspect and a little bit of pressure of trying to perform on such a big stage with so many people watching and such good broadcast coverage.
And then the dash to the line in the tri-oval.
As you can see, the Daytona International Speedway, not a very difficult track. Obviously has its own characteristics. Short little infield, and then the rest of it is just a lot of drafts, so you got to be really lucky and play it smart in the race. It's all about being in the right place at the right time, especially coming to the line. So you can see here the track fairly wet, headlights on because it is evening, and we are all on rain tires. So we had 2 pace laps because of the wet weather, so time was a little bit shorter. But you can see I am on the outside there. You can really recognize my car with the bright fluorescent neon mirrors, and there's a little accent on the front of the car as well. And as you can see, nicely punched up packed up together for the start. And away we go. So we had been trying a couple things in qualifying, just with the different lines in the rain. Again, it had been a couple years since I've driven in the rain, so trying to get acquainted to everything again. But we knew there was quite a bit of grip on the outside, so we tried to swing it around. Last year's champion, Wagner, went around my outside too, and I kind of had to back out here just to make sure no accidents were caused. Kind of taking it easy at first. Like I said, lots of grip on the outside, so we did a little bit of sending. We're able to stick it around the outside. Made up 2 spots there, or 3 spots under braking, if I'm not mistaken, so quite a bit of time. And I felt really comfortable at this time. We were falling behind the car number 15 here. He looked like he was struggling, so I didn't want to waste too much time and wanted to get around him so I could try to get back in the draft of the car ahead. So I got a better exit here, tried to go to the inside. This is where I kind of, messed up my own race. Car got very loose, touched a little bit of the curb. I ended up making a little bit of contact with him and it knocked my toe out, so I was driving with a little bit of a crooked steering wheel for the rest of the race there, but we made it work. Nothing too bad, just a little bit difficult to get the car back on power. You can see the car on the inside, blue car, overshot the corner. We were able to get an over-under there, so 2 spots made up. Lots of grip on that outside patch, so we were just trying to make the best of it, and there's a little bit of a spin that took out one of the inside styrofoam boards, so there was a safety car. We restarted here. And at this point I was really excited because we were back in the main pack, so everyone up here was really, really good on pace, and I was able to break away from the pack behind and just kind of keep up with this main pack right here. This was a big crucial moment though, coming into the first horseshoe. So as you can see, one of the cars in the back just overshot himself, overshot the braking point, tapped into another one of the cars, so that was a free position that we were able to pick up there. And we, run away with it. And later on in the race, the car that actually made contact was given a drive-through penalty, so we were able to acquire 2 spots from that. So at this point, I'm trying to play it safe. My toe is knocked out of alignment, so the wheel is not steady. It's a little bit hard to control the car. These guys are just going at it, so I'm just sitting back and taking it easy. A lot of the sim racing actually plays into effect here because it's taught me a lot of patience and just taking it easy, working with drafts. So definitely not as aggressive as I used to be, just through all these years of when I was, taking a year off, 2 years off for saving money and just doing the esports side of things. It definitely helped me work with some patience, and I think it played into effect here for sure. So just letting these guys roughhouse, just trying to stay in their draft and work my way for the last lap. A little bit of door banging there. My mirror got knocked in a little bit by the number 51.
With Bruno Carneiro, who's all of a sudden joined the lead pack.
Just trying to find as much grip as I can out on the track, and again, making sure that I'm within the lead pack in the lead group in their draft. So that's the important part around Daytona. But as you can see, it was a really intense race. The front pack, I didn't quite have the pace, if I'm being honest, to keep up. As you can see, the car was a little bit of a handful to deal with, and I was really struggling with putting the power down coming out of the bus stop, which was really crucial because I couldn't get a good run out of the bus stop to keep up with the guys. It's just the wheel was a little knocked out of alignment, and I just wasn't able to keep the car settled through there. But as you can see, I really put my head down on this last lap to try to keep up, and we made quite a bit of time in the last half of the infield, just making sure that I could be right on their bumper for that last lap finale. Usually the third or fourth car in line is the one that wins this race, so I was just hoping for a podium or something. We're sitting 6th here. I wasn't too bummed out about it. So as you can see, we made up quite a bit of time. We were right on their bumpers coming out of turn 6 onto the banking.
Then Jared Thomas, and just off the back of them,
Bruno Carneiro.
He's had a really good run, Carneiro. Carneiro has done a good job. He latched onto the leaders, and he's just sitting there at the moment waiting for the opportunity. Where do you make the move? Do you wait to the line? Dare you wait to the line? That's what happened here last year. The spray is making things very difficult.
Gonzalez is going to
not to spoil it, I had a big wiggle in the middle of the bus stop, which compromised my run out of it and kind of put me out of contention. So just got full opposite lock there. it just, I don't know what happened. I think I hit the curb wrong and the toe being out of alignment, and also just the pressure I was putting on myself to try to get a good run. You can see here I totally lost it by just driver error. I made a big mistake there. So we live and we learn from it, and you know, it's experience.
As well for Carneiro. He'll be starting to get the draft now. There's 4 cars in the picture at the moment, but can Carneiro catch them? I don't think he can. Oh, someone was on the brakes there. That looked like Silic had to...
The leaders finished 4 wide. Which I'm a little bit sad I wasn't a part of, but they are 4 wide across the line, and that's just typical Mazda MX5 racing. It's super close. A little bit of a shunt at the end, which was unfortunate to see, but luckily the driver was okay. So
after the checkered flag at the line, it was Gonzalez Nunes, Celine Roland, Connor Zilic in 4th position, Jared Thomas.
yeah, it was an intense race. I was super bummed out about myself for making that mistake, but all in all, it's just a learning experience. And from, you know, starting 14th to finish 6th at the end, first time really driving the Mazda MX5 since Laguna last year, it was a good result all in all. So some more shots, some more glamour shots of my 2022 ride. Hopefully you guys like that livery. This was a livery that was inspired from sim racing, and we just kind of took it over and put it in real life, so it was pretty cool. You can see here I'm with Alan and my great friend Ricardo Arruda before the start of race 2, just trying to get in the zone. Again, we were starting in 14th, and after yesterday's performance, I was just really hungry and motivated to push hard. The track was dry. It missed it at the start of the race, which will come into play here shortly, but it was pretty intense. It was I was really motivated. I was ready to put my head down and push as much as I could. I knew I had a chance. So it's a start here. I was with the objective to get in within the top 8 by the end of the lap, because I knew that the lead pack would probably pull away, and I didn't want to get stuck behind the slower traffic. So as cautiously as I could, but still a little bit desperately, trying to find my way around the outside, get as many spots as I could. Again, playing cautious, backing out. I just want to make it through the first lap, so I didn't try to stick my nose in there. These guys are all banging and bumping around, so last minute dive to the inside, try to get some spots here. So right about now, at this point, coming out of the corner, we are P8. So I was pretty happy with myself. I knew I needed to be in the pack ahead. I just didn't want to lose the draft. So it had been missing. Everyone was trying to take it easy except for the guys behind us. I get bumped here. Car on the inside gets bumped as well as he turns, and then he just loses control and drives straight into me. So it was really an unfortunate situation. I was able to kind of keep my head cool, surprisingly, as much as I was expecting to be more upset, but I was just like, go, let's get rolling again. And I was able to keep the car running. So I did have quite a bit of front-end bumper damage, but I rejoined at the tail of the pack, P30, and we continued on from there. So yeah, it was not ideal. Again, it had been missing, and I decided to take it easy. The cars behind were not as smart, I guess, and just pushing us through the kink is not a good thing, you know. So I was really unlucky. Fell back to 30th, but at this point, I just put my head down, and I knew I could make up some spots. So here's a bit of a replay, so you can see we were just getting pushed from behind, and it spins the car on the inside, and I am just. I tried to back out because I'm on the outside, but I'm just getting pushed, and the car on the inside gets pushed, and it's just a whole mess. So.
And on the outside, the number 21, the Bruno Carneiro Rodizio Grill car, again, just a bystander there. It's very wet on the
You can see here, we're back in the hunt, making up some spots through the bus stop. We had a pretty good run, everyone checking up. And at this point, it's just head down. I know I'm just trying to pick off draft from one car to the next. I knew I had a lot of pace in the infield. The car felt really good. Andrew did a great job setting up the car for this first dry session of the weekend. So again, first time driving Daytona in the dry, trying to, you know, get up to speed with the brake points. iRacing came into play because, you know, it definitely helps. You can get used to it. But you can see we made up quite a few spots just on that lap right there. Following lap, car in front gets draft. You can see how important the draft is. It just pulls away. But if you look at the top of the screen, there's actually a car in the wall. Unfortunately, one of his control arms broke, and nasty impact. Luckily, Michael was okay after that.
Brings us back to green flag with spot on 25 minutes to go. Chris Nunes Sticking to the back of the lead.
Back to green flag racing here. At this point, I think we were 21st, so we made up quite a few spots, but still in the back of the pack. I knew I had to move, and I knew I had to fight. So just kind of put my head down, told myself I needed to be a little bit more aggressive, still cautious, but aggressive. And we had some pretty mega restarts here, picking off about 3 cars at a time, so it was really good. Last minute dive to the inside here. I realized the outside line is not gonna work.
In second position, Zilic somehow managing to hold on to his 3rd place, but he's got different people around him. Where's Chris Noon's got to? He's dropped back a little bit as well. Now also looking at Celine Roland up from 30th position after the crash post the checkered flag yesterday. Hayes was back up to 7th on the restart, but he's trying to work his way through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he's
As you can see, trying to be as aggressive as I can, all while being smart so that I can still have draft, you know, because that's the important thing here. It's about 2.5 seconds. Missed my brake point a little bit. Everyone was checking up in front, and I did miss my brake point a little bit, but we didn't lose a absurd amount of time, which is good. And at this point, we're 2 wide, 2 rows too wide. And I have quite a bit of draft of the car in front, so instead of trying to, you know, fight him, I'm going to go ahead and just push him. And what happens next is a little bit interesting. Coming to the bus stop, nice big bump. IMSA was allowing 3 seconds of push. You just can't hold the push for more than 3 seconds. So I back out of it. The 3 cars in front try to go for the same gap, and it just creates a horrific accident, but we were able to make that out with no problems. Again, I keep referring to iRacing, but I hate to say it, but the iRacing races definitely come into play. So you can see here, I back off because I see there's a car in front of the green car in front of me, and no one backed out. So I just got on the brakes a lot earlier, checked up, made sure the car behind was checking up as well, and just kind of let it happen. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see the blue car sliding in front, but we were able to avoid it nicely and carry on. So yeah, good avoidance. I'm happy with myself that I was able to kind of read the situation and just come out of it unscathed. What matters is we made it out okay. So
lick of flame underneath the Dex car. He was a passenger at that point with the left front steering broken. The camber, you'll be able to see this from the front on, the camber of the tyres makes the tyres stick out, and then the slightest touch.
Big crash. No one was hurt, thankfully, but it was a pretty big one. The fire made it more intense, I think, so it definitely intensified the accident. But again, we went back to full course yellow after this. We were gonna have a safety car restart. This one took a long time to clean up. There was a big oil spill.
This is such close racing, and it's so fast. The number 21 of Bruno Carneiro. Good bit of avoidance as well by the drivers behind, including the number 88, who was right in there for Sean Warwick. Well, that's going to make the highlights reel.
And at the front of all that was Glenn McGee, who managed to drive away and then clearly saw out of the corner of his eye that there was a bit of orange and slowed down, which was very heads-up driving by the young Tampa man.
Surely a championship.
So 8.5 minutes actually on this restart. At this point, I think I was 14th. You can see me at the top of the screen. Not ideal. I wanted to make some more spots up, but we didn't have too much time. So I just know I needed to push here.
A straight line.
Everyone fanning out on the turn 1 up ahead. I again knew I needed to be aggressive to try to get back in that pack. So some more big sends going on. Made one position up there in turn 1. The guys ahead are fighting. Big checkup. I decided to go to the inside here. Big send. We were 3 wide at this point. And then we come out of the first horseshoe side by side, still with the blue car here. This was crucial. This is a battle for, now I'm 12th, blue car is 11th. Come through the kink around the outside, gives me room. There's another crash. I didn't know this at the time, but the full course yellow came out right about now, and I was just half a car length ahead of the blue car, granting me the P11 position. And unfortunately, we did not go back to green flag racing after this accident, which really sucks because, you know, I needed some more time to try to make up some spots, but all in all, we were able to finish in 11th in this race, which isn't ideal, but coming from Coming all the way back from 30th to finish 11th with only 3-4 laps of green flag action was not too bad in the end. So it was a good weekend. Happy with the results. I would have been happier if it was a little bit better. I think we deserved a little more, but the weekend was compromised from the start with the qualifying being a bit ruined. You can see lots of parts being taken home as prizes. Meeting some good friends as well throughout the weekend. My esports teammates were there as well. Yeah, it was a cool weekend, and it was really good to finally meet the Hixon Motorsports crew. Really lucky and honored to be working with them for the 2022 season. We're hoping for good results in the upcoming races in the upcoming season. St. Petersburg is next. Some images of Ricardo Arruda, a good friend of mine. And then after the race, I actually worked for the G3 racing team as a fireman, just holding the fire bottle. A little bit of work after the race, try to make some money to pay for the bumper damage. So really pumped, positive, confident, and looking forward to the next race at St. Petersburg and the rest of the season. And I just want to extend a big thank you to the Hixon Motorsports crew for all they've done so far and for the season ahead. Rodizio Grill for supporting me in this season as well. Ricardo Arruda and Giovanna Arruda, my family, friends, all my Twitch and Discord members as well for the support that they do. And yeah, all of you watching, I appreciate all your support, and yeah, let's go get it.